Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Summer Wells went missing June 15th, 2021 and hasn't been seen again. We are in the backwoods of Tennessee. We are here on Light Hollow Road. We're a little further down the road than we once were. We're just checking out this area. This is one area that we never really researched or really searched during the last 2.5 years that we've been covering the case. We followed this case from the very beginning to find out any information related to Summer Wells, where she may be, and who may be responsible for her disappearance. It has taken us on a almost 3-year journey here in Tennessee, Hopkins County, Tennessee, as we search for answers. This is where we heard Candace Bly was the day that Summer Wells disappeared. Where is Summer Wells? We are searching for any information leading to the whereabouts of Summer Wells. If you have any information, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Well, good morning, my beautiful people at YouTube. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. I have been working and trying to do some sleuthing. Obviously, there has been, a CEO that was gunned down and a cold case that I was diving into and still diving into a little bit. So I wanted to share those work with you, or that work with you all. And so here we are, Sebastian Drake Rogers. Been a lot of information coming out over the last few days related to this case. And we're going to be spilling a little bit of the tea. We're going to be spilling a little bit of the tea. So what is going on in this case? Well, Sebastian Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And he was allegedly only home with his mother prior to his disappearance. Now, we're hearing some information about a green hoodie guy, a car, the Texas Roadhouse. We'll be breaking a little bit of that down. I don't have so much information on that as I do commentary on what was recently dropped by Justin for All, related to a potential teacher or alleged teacher that worked with Sebastian or was at his school or something to that effect. I do have it up. We will be going over that. And we got some commentary on that because there's quite a bit to unpack with that little bit 5-minute segment related to Sebastian Drake Rogers, his mother, his stepfather, and of course, Seth, his father. So before we get started, just want to say good morning. I'm not going to be able to say good morning to everybody in chat because we're already up at about 316 viewers at this moment. We do currently have a goal. I've just started. We've only been going for just a few moments and we've almost met the goal. And that goal is that we will have a live call-in show next Friday. And we will be discussing the Sebastian Drake Rogers. I know many of you guys have your own speculation and theories that you would like to get out and would like to do it anonymously. Some would like not to be anonymous, and that's okay as well. So I can tell you the phone number has changed because I haven't been on it in so long. I think my number's been given away. So hopefully you guys haven't been reaching out to it. But we will be getting a phone session up and running by next Friday if we can meet our goal. And it looks like we are almost there. So just plan on next Friday. I'm not sure what time yet, but I will, by the end of this weekend, we will have a date and time. Well, we have the date. We will have the time for next Friday. And our conversations related to Sebastian Drake Rogers. Now, before I get started, I am going to play a very long intro video, and you guys will like it. Actually, you probably already watched it, but if you didn't, you're going to watch it again. It's kind of the history of where we went and where we are now.
This afternoon, the search for a missing 15-year-old boy in Sumner County is now an Amber Alert.
At this time, the decision's been made to scale back on the ground search operations.
You don't want anything to happen to anybody, let alone a child.
Well, 10 days have now passed Still no sign of Sebastian Rogers. The teen's mother and stepfather say he just walked out of their Sumner County home and vanished.
Tonight, the search for Sebastian Rogers has led crews to a landfill in southern Kentucky, but there's still no sign of the missing Sumner County teen.
We begin with a surprising development in the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, who's been missing for 18 days. Our Nick Barris obtained video that appears to show two people near Sebastian's home the night his parents say he disappeared.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.
Well, you can look right there and see, little kid, he likes to get in buildings, they said. So he could be in that barn somewhere, I've seen people looking through all these here. But if he's scared, he's going to wait and come out when nobody's around, probably. That's the reason I'm trying to ride the road to see if maybe there's a chance he'll come out and I'll see him,
Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old, high-functioning autistic boy that disappeared from his home where he resided only with his mother and his stepfather. His mother was with him the night he disappeared, when a vehicle was later spotted on the outside of their home. While ground searches were underway, both with law enforcement as well as public ground searches, many of the public were asking, where is the mom and stepfather? Some volunteers even asked where they were and if they were coming out to search, but they said they needed to stay home to wait for a call. It outraged the public for them to be seen at a local barbecue joint enjoying dinner. The public was outraged and media was asking questions. So what did mom and the stepfather do? They loaded up in the same camper that Chris had just picked up and went back to the campground where he had just left. This is when Yogi Bear Campground was introduced to us for the first time. As people were noticing them leaving, they also noticed Chris had many scratches and what appeared to be bite marks on his arm. Sebastian Rogers' father, Seth Rogers, put together a vigil, and during the vigil, Chris and Katie were seen at a motorcycle shop, and this was before their May trip to Myrtle Beach. In June, I decided to go out to the area to see what was going on in this case, to get a lay of the land, so to speak, to learn more about the community, more about the area in which he disappeared, and more about the infamous flashlight video.
It is believed Sebastian left his home barefoot and with a flashlight sometime overnight.
Several clips that have come in.
And this one is getting the most attention, showing signs of activity around Sebastian's home the night he disappeared. You see two light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area. In the video, you see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then subject 2 reappears and follows subject 1 off screen. It's a short time later and it's very vague, but then you see one of the subjects moving quickly back through the common area, and that is it.
This is the common area that they are referring to related to that flashlight video. While I was only here trying to get some more information to describe the area and the location to my audience, the Proudfoots had another idea in mind. While many efforts were underway to help locate Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, including a vigil and gathering of voices, they labeled me a security threat, filed protective orders against me, and threw me in jail for trying to advocate for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Dog the Bounty Hunter came into this case along with Nick the Hat, where this case has been overanalyzed, and we found that the stepfather's life is much different than what he had stated. And now people want to know what was going on behind closed doors. Where is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? Will we learn anything? And why are Chris and Katie only out looking for Sebastian for photo shoots and photo ops? And what about the 24 to 25 hours he was missing? Where's Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? His father is fighting for him. The team is fighting for him. Dog the Bounty Hunter and Nick the Hat are fighting for him. Where's the mom and stepfather? Will we ever learn anything about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? How did he leave the house? Was it willingly or unwillingly? And why are there so many issues with the story related to how he disappeared or why he disappeared from his home? What about the green hoodie guy that was being spoke to? Where's Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? Have you seen him? Will you be willing to help find Sebastian? All the distractions, and still no reason why he would ever leave.
So here's what we know about the missing 15-year-old. At this point, we know he wandered away from Stafford Court. He is 5 foot 5 inches and 120 pounds. He was last seen wearing his glasses, a black sweatshirt, and black sweatpants. He has autism, which could mean he's drawn to water and closed spaces or places of special interest to him.
Andrea Haynes also knows Sebastian likes small spaces.
Sebastian came to my classroom because it's a small classroom. He always was smiling and always had a great imagination when it came to drawing.
My entire school is in a constant state of prayer for him.
Patricia Shemansky is Sebastian's former 8th grade teacher at T.W. Hunter Middle School.
He has a great sense of humor. He loves people. He loves animals.
She says Sebastian may have autism, but he's extremely high functioning.
He has a great sense of humor, loves to laugh. He's a jokester. He's extremely smart. Pick a pencil, you pick the green one, you know. You pick a folder, you pick a green one. So he always picked green, so we knew it was his favorite.
This week, multiple agencies have searched thousands of miles for Sebastian using scent-trained dogs, horses, and technology, but still no luck.
It has now been a full week since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home in Sumner County. Still no trace of this child.
Well, the sheriff's office is now scaling back the search effort to focus more on the investigation.
The Sumner County Sheriff's Office said definitively today that they have no reason to believe that Sebastian is not alive. But after 1 week and thousands of cumulative hours of searching, the manhunt has scaled down today.
We are here at the Hopkins County Regional Landfill. It's about an hour and a half north of Nashville. And this is where Sumner County Sheriff's Office says that the trash from Sebastian's neighborhood would end up. Now, you can see from the video we got earlier, about a dozen investigators were combing through the dirt and debris here. They are mainly looking, at least in the front portion of this landfill from where we are. You can also see that they were using an excavator, at some point to dig up that same area. Again, there's no evidence or information that indicates Sebastian could be here. Sumner County Sheriff's Office says this is a precautionary measure to eliminate any possible questions and options.
Yesterday, we heard from them for the first time pleading for their boy to come home. Our Nick Barris also interviewed his biological father.
Somebody has you, son. Run. Run to the next person you meet. Ask to use their phone and call 911. Tell them who you are. Let them find you.
Authorities announced yesterday their search efforts have been scaled back. The parents have not been named as suspects, and we are told they are cooperating with this investigation.
There is still no sightings of Sebastian caught anywhere on ring cam, on trail cameras, by in-person witnesses, or by canine tracking dogs.
So there is kind of the long intro of everything that's been kind of accumulated in this case to this point. Good morning, Melanie. It's nice to see you. Phil, Eeyore Blues, Linda. It's nice to see you, Veronica. Lisa C. Nanny needs a Zanny. Good morning. Reach for the skies. Unicorn, Indiana, reminding us don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way in. Sarah with an H or without an H. It's nice to see you. Gigi for life. A Rosebud saw this post. Prayer and hopeful coming from our home to Sebastian. Coming from our home to Sebastian and Seth. Sebastian needs a Christmas miracle. That's nice to thank you so much, Rosebud. Good morning. Sonia is up in the house. Denise, it's nice to see you. Good morning, Stephanie. Kendra, it's nice to see you as well. Phil, tattoos, thrifting, and coffee. And a big shout out to everyone else. We do have a goal. We are going to be doing a live call in next Friday. It looks like we're probably going to schedule that. We're already almost through our goal. Thank you to Stephanie, Eeyore Blue, Melanie. Truth in Time, nice to see you. Our beautiful ginger girl saying good morning. Oh, Phil donated one Bullhorn Betty membership. If you receive that Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Phil thanks. Truth in Time, thank you. We got Elizabeth up in the house. Oh, and look who it is. Justin for All, good morning. He's been with us for 19 months. Hard to believe. God bless you, Justin. God bless you. And thank you. Thank you for your love and support. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here, and it's good to see that Justin is here because I'm stealing something from you. I'm going to be using this because I don't know, and I wanted to give some commentary. But before we get into this letter, which is what I have the most commentary on, I wanted to, thank you, Panda Bear Mom, new member. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see everybody. We got Sam's Pretty Paranormal. It's nice to see you, my love. I hope you're doing well today. So before we get started, let's just go over the newest update that just came out from At Night Intelligence Agency, and this is from today. I can't remember. I think it was just like an hour ago because I remember seeing it. Yeah, 8 a.m. a couple hours ago. I saw it coming out as I was preparing for the live, so I figured I'd go ahead and incorporate this in. I was actually going to run the one from yesterday as opposed to today, but today has a little more information. So this is for the public update on the search for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Now, understand I cannot read the screen and read the chat, so just give me a moment to get through this, and I'll let you know when I'm back on the other screen. At Night and its partners have made significant progress in their efforts to seek answers into the disappearance of 15-year-old Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, aiming to assist in bringing him home safely and peacefully. The reward has now been increased to an astonishing $225,155, prompted by promising leads indicating Sebastian's potential survival. The effort is presently concentrated on two individuals who are confirmed to have acted in concert, targeting both Sebastian and his mother, Katie Lynn Payne Proudfoot, on the evening of Sunday, February 25th, 2024. Key developments: green hoodie individual. This individual wearing an olive or military green hoodie with light-colored angular patterns on the chest has been identified in surveillance footage standing nearby Miss Proudfoot and Sebastian. Green hoodie exited the passenger seat of a vehicle while a second individual remained inside. Green hoodie engaged in a physical interaction and hand exchange with Miss Proudfoot in the parking lot before entering Texas Roadhouse and vanishing from sight. The second individual who remained inside the vehicle is confirmed to have worked in coordination with Green Hoodie. The vehicle repositioned itself behind Miss Proudfoot's car as she prepared to leave and subsequently followed her vehicle as she departed. This individual did not exit the vehicle at any point during the observed time frame, but followed Miss Proudfoot toward her home. So they're saying that there were two people inside of a vehicle, had some type of conversation, a hand exchange. The green hoodie got back in the vehicle. I'm not sure when they repositioned the vehicle behind the car, if that was before or after the hand exchange, but it does appear when she exited the Texas Roadhouse, the vehicle that Green Hoodie got into was observed leaving behind Miss Proudfoot toward her home. Focus of the investigation. That's my understanding of it. Hopefully that's everybody else's understanding. I have not gotten back to the other screen where I can read chat just yet. Focus of the investigation. These two individuals are now a central focus of the efforts to locate Sebastian Waindrake Rogers and bring him home safely. While not classified as suspects, they are sought by Dog the Bounty Hunter for some questions regarding their involvement in the events leading up to Sebastian's disappearance and their actions that evening. The coordination between these individuals suggests a deliberate effort to interact with both Miss Proudfoot and Sebastian, and their cooperation is critical to uncovering the truth. How you can help. If you have any information about these individuals, their vehicle, or their movements on the evening of February 25th, 2024, please contact us immediately. You can reach out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, TBI, your local FBI, the nearest American embassy or consulate, or submit tips to the FBI tip line. Alternatively, you can reach out to @dog or the @dog team, including at Night Intelligence Agency. Any information, no matter how small, could help piece together the events of that evening. At Night is pursuing all leads aggressively and will provide a major public update within 24 hours. What would that be? Today's what, Friday? So it sounds like between the weekend and Monday, we should be getting a more major public update. Thank you for your vigilance and continued support in the search for Sebastian Waindrake Rogers. Together, we will bring answers to his family and uncover the truth. And here you go. Here is the new flyer indicating the $225,155. Now, and it looks like they've updated some photos at the bottom as well, which is nice to see. And as you can see, for the most part, he was a very happy, jovial kid, you know. All of his photos, he was smiling, with the exception of this one here. He was smiling. He seemed to enjoy life. To me, it seems like something happened, right? I'm back here. It's nice to see you all. It seems to me that something happened, something pivotal started happening. A dynamic shift in the family dynamic happened in 2022, in my opinion. It seems like, based on the collection of information we've got over the last week, it appears that this child had multiple secret service child protective service calls and reports on the mom and the stepfather for, we don't know what the reasons are. Good morning, Brandy. It's nice to see you, my love. We don't know what the reasons for these CPS reports were, but we do know based upon the Smiley's story interview with the mom. Well, I think it was just the stepdad. I can't remember if it was the mom and the stepdad, or I think it was the mom and the stepdad on that one. And it was an indication that there was at least one CPS report that the stepfather was referring to. And we've got two different answers as to the reason for that. On March 20th, it appeared at that time he failed to wear a belt. But in a later interview, or, damage control interview, it was stated that it was because Sebastian lied to him. And that's when, and that it had happened many years previously. However, the stepfather said an embarrassed 15-year-old boy, not an embarrassed 13 or 12-year-old boy. So that is what kind of got this whole thing started. We didn't know whether or not there were any CPS investigative reports. It was just a question. But at this time, it was so early in this case, I don't think the parents realized we would not have access to those reports. And because they were unaware of that, and that was such a left field question, I think that they felt that somebody must have sniffed something around, or somebody must have leaked something. It is a smaller community. Everybody knows everybody and everybody talks. That's the beauty of small communities. And so I think the reason why they answered that question was because they felt that somebody must have known. And they minimized that. Now we're finding out that the school never reached out to Seth related to these issues, or calling in. And it's my understanding that it wouldn't happen that way, because I thought teachers were required to notify the parents and what have you. But it sounds to me like when they call that in, it's anonymous. So they maintain that anonymity. And based upon that anonymity, that's why the school wouldn't have told Seth. However, we don't understand where the communication barrier was from the Department of Children and Family Services to Seth, but he obviously got wind of at least one report. I don't think he anticipated to receive 4 or 5. I'm unclear on the number that he received, because I've got mixed information, because he has 4. There was the active 5th one that was opened right before Sebastian allegedly disappeared. And then of course, there's the missing person one. Did they incorporate that in with the one that was already open, or is there actually 2 current CPS reports active and open related to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? Those are some questions that we don't really have the answers to yet. Does anybody have any clarity on that, on whether it's 5 reports or 6 reports? I'm not sure if anybody would know. I think it would probably be speculation on anybody's part at this point. But if anybody had any ideas, that would be great. Let me just see what we got in chat here real quick. Hey, SPED teacher. It's nice to see you, my love. Holly, it's nice to see you as well. Women's 100%, in my opinion. Ellie is acting just as sus as parents. Yeah, well, in all fairness, we're familiar with law enforcement holding information close to the chest. What we're not accustomed to is the whole entire ghosting of the public. Like, I don't know what idiot thought of that. That would be, responsible. But this is what you create when you do something like that. So whoever's decision that was, congratulations. You probably need to lose your job. Just saying. That's just my opinion. I thought about this, but do you think he's hiding his emotions inside? Hey, River, it's nice to see you. I don't know who you mean he. Who's he? Are you referring to Sebastian or Seth? So Green Hoodie went into the steakhouse. That's what it sounds like, Mary Ann. I don't know. I don't know because context wise, I'm unsure. Um, I'm unsure. Like, were they already inside the restaurant eating and approached the mom and Sebastian? Did they walk out of the restaurant or did they just pull up and it looked like almost like a drug deal? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're referring to because when I read the description of everything, it kind of plays differently depending on when I read it or what thought I have, right? So it's almost like it could be a couple different things, or how it was. I really don't know if they started inside or they ended up going inside, but definitely it sounds like when the mom and Sebastian were leaving, whoever they were kind of followed them out. I can't tell you whether they ate in the restaurant, or didn't. I don't know. I don't think that has been elaborated on, at least from the stuff I've read. So I'm kind of uncertain about that. But we definitely know they were on the outside of the restaurant, at least when the mom and the son were leaving the restaurant, and it appears that the vehicle, when they turned, the vehicle turned the same direction. So it could be something, it could be nothing. I mean, what if it was like a ding on the end of the car and they got out and said, hey, do you know who dinged my car? I mean, we don't know. So I don't know. I don't know. Wow, the increase in the reward is crazy. Thank you, Dog and Nick, and the rest of the team at night. Please, please, please let Sebastian come home safe and sound to his dad. Yeah. And a lot of people are starting to have some legal, suggestions and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that Seth has gone over all of his options related to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. So I don't know. I don't know. In my opinion, his past with his past wives, I think is what Brenda meant to say. I don't trust Craddock. I don't really trust Craddock either, to be honest with you. Oh, Sonny's saying, don't forget, sub up. We're trying to hit 40K. 40K. We're almost there, believe it or not. We're closer than we've been we've ever been. Right? We've ever been. KP did not report her car following them home. She should be charged with conspiracy. Well, there still has to be some type of conspiracy that they can prove. It's easy to, and it very well may eventually get there. But right now, you got a car following another car or leaving a public parking lot and going in the same direction. I mean, it's really not conclusive. You know what I'm saying? Think about how many times, like next time you go to Starbucks and you pull out, does the person behind you pull in the same direction as you? Is that really sus? You got to think, play the tape through. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm just trying to see if there's anything in here that I need to answer. In my opinion, they would have until 5 p.m. today to bring Sebastian to the police department or go to jail, just like they did in that is a but this is the state of Tennessee. I mean, look at the TikToker. What was her name? April Holt. Is that? I think that's the name of her. And I've been kind of following her mom, Trina. I'm pretty sure is her name. I've been monitoring her case for over the last year. I haven't really covered it, but I've been, because I'm on TikTok and I see her mom and stuff like that. And I just watched the update from her mother, and it was really heartbreaking. And it's in the Metro Nashville area, and here yet we go again. It's like they said this woman unalived herself, and then they proved the mother, not the police department, the mother wouldn't accept it. and fought like hell for her daughter and finally proved that her daughter didn't unalive herself. It was her daughter's ex-boyfriend or boyfriend or her husband or her significant other that did it. So now they got him dead to rights, and they give him a freaking plea deal that will only put him in jail 2 to 15 years. Thanks, Tennessee. Yet again. Yet again. I don't want to hear Tennessee saying they're tough on crime because you don't even investigate the damn cases correctly. You said she unalived herself when she had a plastic bag taped to her head. I can't with Tennessee. I really can't. So if you want to know why they don't do it, it's because it's the state of Tennessee, the not so tough on crime, conservative state of Tennessee. Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. But they are becoming the spotlight of social media and the laugh of law enforcement communities around this country. They're the laughing stock. They got to get their stuff together. Tennessee seriously has to get their stuff together. Sorry, not sorry. Shell Bell said, I heard it's 5 reports in total, 4 closed, 1 still open. Gotcha. Okay. Got it. Perfect. All right. So let's kind of get past this. We'll come back to it, but I do want to get on to the major commentary topic. And this is the one that Justin for All received. I because I couldn't find it in his video. Thank you, Hindsight 2002. I was able to go to your channel and pull that singular piece of information. So I do appreciate that. So thank you to both content creators for that. But I do want to show you what was seen. And I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard it, but there's something more I'm hearing with this. Okay. There's something more I'm hearing with this. And I want to see what you guys, if you guys agree or disagree and why.
Just got an email from someone at the school. And I'm going to read it without exposing who it is. She didn't ask
Melly,
to keep quiet or anything like that, but I'm still going to do
Mona
it.
Lisa B.
And it says,
Morning,
I work at Beach High School, and she says she was such and such of Sebastian's teachers. Sebastian.
Hey, Justin, just out of curiosity, just for my curiosity here, and you might want to send it to me privately, not necessarily in chat unless you want to. But did she reach out to you from the school email, or did she reach out to you from her private email and just, just out of clarification, you know how I am. I'm sure you corroborated it because I know how well you work for that, or work toward that. So I just wanted to find out if you could just share with me a little bit of the corroboration to confirm that this lady truly did work at that school, just for my mind's sake.
In the week of February 10th, KP, CP, and Seth were all at attendance.
So what we're learning here is that 3 parents on February 10th allegedly were in a meeting at the school related to Sebastian. And it's my understanding Sebastian may or may not have been there. I think he may have been there, but either way. Oops.
On the second day of Sebastian's disappearance.
So again, this would be the second day he disappeared on February 26th. So this would be February 27th. This is the same day that they probably issued the Amber Alert.
Tuesday. I got an earful about the parents and that meeting?
So she must have documented the meeting or spoke to somebody about the meeting, he or she, whatever teacher it is. And it sounds like this was potentially a contentious meeting.
The mild and meek KP that you see and hear in all these interviews was apparently a different person in that meeting.
Now, I will tell you guys this. It is my understanding that this is true. Okay. I have also stated that I have learned on multiple occasions that that is not her normal demeanor. She's very, she's better than everybody else, is the demeanor that she takes. She talks down to people, including law enforcement that were handling her case. She speaks down to them. She's one of those people. So this is no surprise to me, honestly. We knew that we were getting a different, the person that we were seeing is much different than the person that I've learned through my fact finding to be who she is. Okay. The rocking and everything. Even Yada was here, which reminds me, Yada's the one for the beautiful dresses of Delilah. I also received a card from Karen. Thank you so much, Karen, for the card. And a key ring, which is of Delilah. I opened it. My neighbor was here when I opened it. I don't have it right here. Otherwise, I got to show you guys this. It's so cute. And it looks just like Delilah. It's a little Delilah key ring. So anyways, I just want a big shout out to that. But getting back to Yada, she's the one that let us kind of fill us in that, you know, those she thought were crocodile tears on the green shirt interview. And even my video yesterday, you know, I threw that clip in where they say we're just now first hearing from the parents. What you didn't understand is that was some 10 days after this child disappeared. You're hearing from the mom and the stepdad, the mom, 10 days after her child disappeared because she refused to speak to anyone about her child. Remember, they were trying to keep the story suppressed as much as possible. And it kind of makes you wonder why they were suppressing the story of their missing son, because most moms, maybe not fathers, but, you know, and I have to think if a father was the primary caregiver, they would be pushy too, but mostly moms, you know, they raise the roof if something happens to their cub. And that was something that was a little different in this case, where they were really trying to do everything they can to suppress the story, which is, again, just odd behavior from my standpoint. And then we're hearing that there was this interview, or not interview, this meeting, and it sounds like all parents were account. Now, if that was the case, and this is legit, then definitely 100% we can conclude that Mr. Proudfoot was in the community prior to February 26th and after January, when we were told, or at least it was implied, because no comment, right? No comment. And we can conclude, if that's true, that he was in town, and he once again lied to Nancy Grace when Nancy Grace was trying to find out when the last time he was in that area. And he was being very shady on answering that question and trying to use word salad and confuse what was really being asked, as he is very, very seasoned in doing. So we have that. Now let's get back to this with Justin, because again, I've got a lot of commentary when it comes to these statements that he's about to release.
According to, I'm not going to say, she was obnoxious.
Does it really surprise anyone?
He went on to say that KP and CP blamed Seth for every single one of Sebastian's problems.
This is where we're going to have the bulk of our commentary today, because let's look at the situation at hand. Mom and stepdad had this child more than anyone else. More than anyone else. Yet it's the person that only gets him nights and weekends every other weekend, right? It's his fault for everything. Let's kind of rewind this tape and some of the stuff that we have learned about this case. One is that it appears something in the dynamic of this family shifted in 2022. It seems like this is when, right? Now we have to backtrack just a little bit because we have a manipulating stepfather, right? That's very conniving and cunning. So if you go back to 2021, what did we learn happened in 2021? We learned that in Alabama, the stepfather was working. Nobody knew he was married, okay? And he was obviously getting it on with a bartender, allegedly, according to one of his coworkers. So that was in 2021, and then they probably were having some marital issues in their family. He's been married 5 times, right? She thinks she's the one. She thinks she's the she might be now. You know, I don't know how they're going to be able to split apart after this. He's stuck. The one thing he doesn't like, he's stuck. He's stuck like Chuck, right? Can't do anything now. That's his wife for life, right? So in 2021, we hear of this alleged affair or multiple affairs from in Alabama. He was a loosey-goosey type of guy in Alabama. And so they buy this new house in 2022. Clearly, their marriage is fracturing if you know, hubby is running around when you ain't looking, right? So they move into this really, really nice, much more expensive, almost 3 times more expensive than the house that they left. They got a VA loan, which means 0 money down. So they would only have to pay closing costs on their home to close, which takes your closing costs from like $40,000 or $60,000 to probably between $10,000 and $20,000. Huge savings, maybe even less than that. And everything else is built into the loan. Now, you got to remember, the stepfather is only making $30 an hour. I can't imagine how much money the mom could possibly be making with Brinks installing these security systems. But whatever the case may be, we also heard there's some type of government stipend from the military service that the mom did, but never heard that the stepfather is getting the same type of stipend for the military service he did. Either way, it sounds like there is a total of 3 incomes coming in here, but they increased their costs almost 66% purchasing this home. And so I have stated when I started learning about this and learning their income and learning what their mortgage must be and looking at their car payments and looking at their recreation vehicle and other things. One of the comments I had, you can go back to some of my first work, I started talking about their finances and said, you know, they might be spreading themselves a little too thin. I don't know how many people were with me during those times, but I know there are a lot that are in chat that can confirm that those were statements that I have made. If not, there was always receipts. Go back to the beginning. I think I even have one solid live, maybe an hour or 2-hour live on the subject with a thumbnail and everything. So it shouldn't be too hard to find. Okay. We also learned that the mom was the breadwinner, because she was on the top of she was first position in the on the title documents, which tells me that she probably either had better credit or more money. That's typically when I see that. I used to be and I used to sell, and I used to work for a mortgage company, so I sell real estate and mortgage companies. So I understand why positions are the way they are. Typically, if you don't give them instruction, they always put the male's name first. There's only a few times that they have to put the wife's name first. And again, those comes down to just a few reasons for that. Me on this house, when I purchased it, I put my name in first position because I purchased this home with my money and I paid cash, free and clear. And I wanted to make sure that that was established on the record. So if anything happened between me and my husband, I maintained the house that I purchased. And that's exactly what happened when the divorce had happened. And had that been in a different position, maybe my ex-husband would have argued a little bit more with me about it, but we all knew who paid for this house. And so that was a done deal. So that's the only other reason that a female's name may be in the first position, is something like that. But either way, you start seeing this shift. And then we learn that the alleged affair 2021, we got the new home in 2022, and then boom, 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 all these CPS reports, right? You start getting CPS reports every few months, a couple times a year. It's been a couple years, there's 5 reports and a child missing. It seemed to me like there was a major dynamic shift way back here. Remember, I start saying that you start seeing, and this goes back to the Summer Wells conversations we had. I said, when you start looking in the past, you start seeing this point when things start unraveling, and this is one of the points when things start unraveling in this family before we get here. We also saw that unraveling aspect in the Summer Wells case as well. So you start seeing this major dynamical change inside the family home, and then a child is missing. So we go back to sourcing it. We see this alleged affair in 2021, this new purchase. The new purchase may have been related to the guilt of this alleged affair for all we know. We don't know why they purchased this huge, big, beautiful home that was, 3 times more than their prior home. We don't know what those reasons are, but, sometimes people try to buy forgiveness. Is this a situation where somebody tried to buy forgiveness? And then you take that information and you put it in here. Now, the problems that caused this purchase never went away because there's still a lot of hurt feelings here. And so now you've got a stepfather and a stepmother that are ragged, unhappy, trying to keep their head above water, trying to put on this facade for their family, friends, and coworkers. And you've got all of this stress behind the scenes that nobody is seeing. And it's spinning, it's unraveling, and then starts spinning out of control. Is that what we're facing here? Is that why there were so many problems after the purchase of the new home? Is it because they started having family problems and a break apart of their family dynamic way back in 2021 before they ever purchased the home in 2022? And men that have affairs, just like women that have affairs, it's all your fault, right? You're putting all of that BS onto the other partner, and they don't even know you're out sleeping with other people. They just feel like they're at fault for everything, right? So when it does come to revelation that, oh my gosh, it's, if you didn't treat me this way and you didn't do this and you didn't frustrate me and you didn't do that, then I would never have done this, right? The manipulating, the conniving, the cunning part of it comes out, right? So when you're looking at this and you're looking at the dynamic of how they got here on February 10th and why everything was being exploded is because they've had marital problems. They've had a child that they can't, that apparently is the problem, the bane of every bit of their marital problems, don't you know? I mean, it couldn't be because somebody has a zipper problem, right? It's got to be because this child's not acting right. He could do it if he wanted to, We see the clarity. If he just had a little more strict and you weren't so easy on him, he would be better. He would do this constantly, non-stop. Always her fault. Always this young boy's fault. And when you have it in your brain and in your psychologically compelled, then you're looking at this child as being able to do this, just not wanting to do it. He just wants attention. And so now, because you've fantasized about that being the case, now every time this child does something out of character, out of norms. He's doing it because he wants the attention. So now he's being punished because he knows better than to do that. Not because he's got autism or this chromosome deletion syndrome. So they have been trying to get rid of this boy ever since 2022 when they moved into this big, beautiful, glorious house because they think, oh my gosh, if he's just out of the way, our marriage we'd have no problems in our marriage. It's not going to stop the infidelity. It's not going to fix the infidelity. Getting rid of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is not going to fix this marriage. But in my opinion, that's what was in both of their brains, is if they just get him over to his father's house, everything will be all right. Or will it? Let's get more into this, this letter because there's still a lot more commentary to be had.
Redacted said he felt utterly embarrassed for Seth. He said KP and CP treatment of Seth made everyone in the room uncomfortable. Additionally, the very first day of the disappearance, that Monday, 2/26/24, we had, how I say this. I asked such and such at the school, quote, hey, have you found the boy yet? At this point, no one was really panicking. It was just,
I don't know why anybody wouldn't panic, especially since this kid has gone through every single school and has never disappeared. And all of a sudden, he's 15 years old, had the best weekend of his life, allegedly, and decides to run away at that point. Nobody's worried whatsoever. I can tell you his father came all the way over from over an hour away. I'd say he was a little worried.
the case of a autistic child who'd run off. This teacher responded to my question and said, quote, no, and something is up with that. They're telling us that he ran off without his shoes and without his phone.
Now, who in this world would know a child? Oops, wrong one. Who in this world would know a child better than a parent? Okay. How many, if you have a child, let's say high school and below. Anybody in the chat that has any kids or grandchildren, high school or below? And this is, let me just say, better than family. Okay, so we don't leave grandma and grandpa, aunt and uncle out, okay? Who would know your child better than your family? Anybody know? Anybody know who would know your child better than your family? Would you say somebody would know, the only other people that would most likely know your child better than the family, and of course their best friend, would be their teachers? Exactly, their teachers. Okay, so now we have some corroboration here. Because remember, the mom tried to throw everybody off with the whole shoe thing, right? Remember that? Oh, well, you know, I know Seth said. But I've seen him go out without his shoes before. Oh, he didn't really care for his cell phone. Remember that? Do you guys remember that? Say yes if you guys remember those conversations. Multiple different conversations, but you guys remember the gist of all of that. The mom's actually trying to say that he wouldn't usually put his shoes on. You know, he's left the house without his, remember that? And then the cell phone now, he doesn't always charge it, just playing it off, right? And we all agree that teachers would know your child second or third best to your family and their friends. And sometimes those teachers know more than their best friend. Why? Because they pay attention. They overhear kids conversating. And never forget the passing of the notes. Remember the passing of the notes? They used to grab those. I don't know if you need to pass notes anymore because of cell phones, but some schools won't let you touch your cell phone while you're in class. So passing of the notes still there, right? And they get those notes and they know what's going on. Like, teachers got this, okay? Teachers got this. So let's hear what this teacher believes. Because now this is giving us corroboration to Seth's statement, not the mother's. And it makes me wonder why the mother is so hell-bent on throwing people off. Interesting.
I'm telling you right now that I know there's no way he ran out of the house barefooted and without his phone. No way.
All right. That kind of sounds a little similar to what Seth had been saying and what Seth has been maintaining since the beginning of this case, no? In my opinion, I think CP and KP wanted happy family time with Faith, only as CP wants full custody. Disgusting. A judge, don't stop and look and listen better. Juicy Jello, I was having a conversation with somebody in my emails about this very topic, about why this judge related in New Mexico with Faith is still allowing Chris to see his child. But you have to understand the law. CP nor KP have been arrested, charged, or named anywhere related to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I don't even know if Nina even knows that there's 5 CPS reports related to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Now, if she learns of this, could her attorney subpoena those records under seal? Yes. Yes, he could. And I absolutely behoove Nina to do that, to subpoena these records under seal and allow her attorney to see them so they can better help protect Faith. But let's face it, up until a few months ago, nobody knew these records existed. Why? Because they worked around the clock to keep them away from the father, the school, even law enforcement. How could this be? I don't know. But my understanding is whoever the person was overseeing this case is fired from the Department of Children and Family Services in that area. That's what I heard. Fired. So obviously did not follow the proper protocol. Otherwise, they would not be fired. And Seth would have known this was going on since 2022 and would have worked a little harder to get Sebastian out of the clutches of these people. So this is the situation we're in. Is it surprising? We know the Department of Children and Family Services has been struggling for years. We were outraged during the Summer Wells case because they were there the day before and could have saved that young girl and failed to act. The people investigating the case of Sebastian need to change in order for it to be solved. I agree with that in part. I don't like leadership of Sumner County, period. Okay? Leadership of the county. I don't like leadership of the sheriff's department. I don't like the leadership there. There's a cultural issue there that is not lawful. Okay? It goes against our Constitution. And I think people should be held accountable with their jobs. That's why I don't like top brass. Okay, they're the ultimate responsibility of what goes on in their county and their community and the people under them. And they haven't stemmed this cultural issue in years, because it's a good old boys type of dynamic there, which is fine. And they can be a good old boy dynamic there, but what they can't do is railroad people and violate their rights because of the good old boy system, especially when you're protecting a bad person that doesn't mind assaulting a disabled boy, a kid. And if that's what the law enforcement and courts want to protect, then they deserve a spotlight on them. A big, massive, badass spotlight showing the disgust of the rest of the world. So we've got this issue, right? And now we have corroboration by the person that would know this boy more than his family, and that is his teacher, saying there's no way this is possible. We have to listen to that.
He always had his belongings, his phone.
And we've talked about that. What kid would run away from the house without any belongings? No, didn't steal money from mommy or daddy, didn't steal any food or the brand new snacks, his beloved snacks that he wakes up in the middle of the night and goes and steals out of the cabinetry and hides under his bed, hides the evidence under his bed. Didn't even bother taking any of those snacks that he's been in trouble for over and over and over again. Didn't take a switch. Didn't take his cell phone so he could call his dad to come pick him up. Didn't put a jacket on even though it was frigid out. And didn't put any shoes on when he has grass allergies, hates dirt, and hates bugs. We listed all the reasons why this child would not have left on his own. And this teacher is corroborating those findings along with his father. But we can't find anybody that corroborates the events or the information for the mom and the stepdad. How is that possible?
Again, this was day one. There was no need to panic. But yet, such and such teacher had a gut feeling that something was off. Anyway, thought you would find this interesting.
Okay. So the last part of my commentary on this topic is that the mom and stepdad tried to blame Seth for everything, okay? Tried to blame them for everything because they needed to distance themselves from the abuse that they were giving to Sebastian and try to justify it in their brains as to why they're doing it. It was all Seth's fault, even though Seth is not the one that's caring for this child the majority of the time. He gets this child every other weekend. He wants to be more involved in his son's life. And he couldn't. And even when the mom and stepdad wanted him to take him full time, they still wouldn't give him more opportunities to be with him. He was 15 years old. He didn't need his mommy and daddy to stay home. His mom left him home when she was still at work. Seth left him home when he was at work. He stayed in his room. He knew how to make himself sandwiches. He knew how to use the microwave. Hell, the boy even knew how to shoot a gun if need be. And was actually very good at target practice. Knew how to swim. Was not terrified of water. Just did not like dirty, murky water. Preferred pools. Not your typical child that's going to run away and run straight for the waters, is it? But that is what was implied that morning. That's what was implied that morning. Even though the mother knew that could not be further from the truth. They have nothing better to do but start rumors and make up lies. Well, we've been talking about the major distraction fail. This right here is just another part of the failure. You know, there was something going on behind these closed doors. We were getting close. We're talking about possible things missing from their home. We're raising our voices outside of Sumner County. And a month after I visited the area for 3 days, they moved to have me thrown in jail. We all knew when I went to jail, they were trying to cause a distraction. They were trying to change the commentary online. And while it did for a little bit, nothing is going to distract from the fact that a 15-year-old medically needy boy disappeared from their custody, care, and control. And they have no explanation as to why this child is not seen on any cameras, picked up on any trail cameras, seen by any eyewitnesses, or even picked up by the search dogs. That there was activity from the side of their house that has literally no camera footage, and had a car been a car length back, we wouldn't even know the car was there. Several mistakes made that night. 1 is the shoes, 2 is getting that car in the camera view, and 3 is using flashlights to get out to the car. Now, while some people might be trying to find the ninja UFO that came down and beamed Sebastian up to the sky, we're here grounded in reality. And something happened inside this home. Something has been happening inside this home since 2022, and it sounded like it climaxed on the eve of February 25th into the morning of February 26th. If anybody is following this and can add and subtract and do math, you know 1 + 1 = 2, 2 times 4, 2 times 2 = 4. And at the end of the day, this is not good for the mother and stepfather. They're laying blame where blame is not due. They're punishing this boy over and over again, even though he doesn't leave the house, doesn't stay out past curfews, never stolen mommy's money, never stole mommy's car, never snuck a friend in the house, never snuck out of the house. The things that normal kids get in trouble for. And he was always in trouble. Trust me, this had nothing to do with Seth. His defecation and soiling himself was from the stresses and the abuse he was dealing with in his own home. We know the signs of that. Many of us, when we heard about him all of a sudden, using the restroom, we knew that was a telltale sign of abuse. We knew ourselves. We didn't know how bad it was until just recently when we found out about 5 reports. 5. Hey, NJs, nice to see you. I figured I do not understand why the stepfather would travel to Mississippi to pick up a trailer when his stepson has been missing for 2 days. It wasn't. So I'm looking back. Now, I don't know if my timeline's accurate, but I use chlamydia because she was the one stalking this family. She lived in the area. She was driving by their house on a daily basis. And it appeared that the camper wasn't there. Camper didn't show up until March 14th. And I do believe it was the stepfather that said it wasn't directly after this situation. And then when you go back and look at the evidence of other content creators that were in and around that community, remember, my car was broke down. There's no way I traveled out there because I had no vehicle. It was at the shop for 4 months. So I had to rely on other people. Well, I went back and reviewed the information, and it was very clear to me that Illuminati was the one that didn't believe their story and thought that they had done something more with their son until she started becoming employed by them. And then all of a sudden her stance changed on this case. But she's the one that broke when the camper made it back to the house. which the first sighting of this camper was on March 14th, almost a month, 3 weeks after. So he sat pretty like a good little boy for 2 weeks and then had to go get his, all of a sudden, get his camper. It makes you wonder what was in that camper that he was so nervous about that he had to go pick up the camper and stay gone 17 to 25 hours. 25 hours. So there we kind of have it. There is pretty much the tea that is being spilled today, because this new information from this teacher only solidifies and corroborates the rumors or speculation we've had. We knew it had to be true, but we didn't have, we had dueling parents, so to speak. One says the child would never leave home without the shoes. Another parent saying, well, I heard that that's what he's saying, but I've seen my child leave, go take the garbage out to the road without shoes, go get the mail without shoes. That's not leaving the home. I want to be very clear on that. That's not leaving the home. They're still at the house. They're still on the property. I still never believed that statement to begin with. But now you've got the teacher saying, him not leaving without any belongings. Bull crap. Bull crap. So now we have the nearest people to this child all having the same statement. This child would never leave without shoes and never leave without his belongings. And then on the flip side of that, you have a mother and stepfather, which are the primary caregivers, pointing the finger at the other side, saying it's all his fault. No, it's all their fault. It's all their fault. Everything that has ever happened to this boy, bad, has been under their care or at their hands. And both times, or multiple times, Seth didn't have an opportunity to step in or help out or it be his fault. Why? Because he didn't know it happened until after it happened. With the SA, with this abuse, and now with his child's disappearance. All right, guys, I don't know where you guys want to go with that, but that's my commentary. Thank you again, Justin for all. Thank you again for hindsight for pulling that. That was very beneficial for somebody like me that doesn't have the time to go search through it. Justin, I'm sorry. I wish I could stay on your lives for 3 hours with you, bud, but I just can't, okay? I just can't. But I'm always glad and always like to hear some commentary, especially something relevant to this case. This is definitely relevant to the case, but definitely another fail for the mom and stepdad. I truly believe the noose is closing in. I believe that this is going to be a solvable case if we can just get law enforcement to do their job. And I'm not saying they're not doing their job. I'm just saying it wouldn't hurt for you to just be a little more humble. Clearly, things ain't going the way law enforcement expects it to go. And while social media might drive them absolutely up the wall, it brings them a whole wealth of leads. It opens the door up for a little bit more. It allows them to potentially solve this case. I don't think they're stupid. I don't think they're stupid at all. They might have been blindsided at the beginning and made a lot of mistakes because of being blindsided and manipulated and conned by the mom and the stepfather. I don't think there's anybody that has an investigative bone in their body that's worth the salt of their badge is not seeing through this crystal clear. The problem is they have to prove it. And that's where the audience comes in. They can't prove it without people coming forward with knowledge. If you know somebody with knowledge, you have the knowledge yourself, it can be very scary. You may not know what to do and you may not want a spotlight on you. And I understand that. But this is a child. And I hope you understand that. All right, guys, be careful today. It's Friday. I hear Seth Rogers is going to be doing a live this evening. I hope everybody is there. Tomorrow is his son's birthday. Normally, we would be doing a little birthday party. I can't physically be out there because the car rentals are obviously getting a little costly to have. But I know Sebastian's not here for his birthday. And I know his father does not want to celebrate his 16th birthday without him. So we will not be celebrating Sebastian's birthday tomorrow. But what we will be doing is praying. We're going to have a huge, big, beautiful prayer train that I hope goes all over this country and all over this world tomorrow, pleading for his safe return home. His safe return home. We also need to pray for Seth because he's the only person that doesn't appear to be okay with his son missing. And why do I say that? Because yesterday I compiled that video, right? And it dawned on me that after Sebastian left, his mom and stepdad lived their best life ever. Maybe because they didn't know if they were going to be caught or not, but they went out shopping for new motorcycles, went to a motorcycle rally in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Boy, they just really did let their hair hang down and had a whole lot of fun from the months of March to May. And it's a real shame because I don't know if I could go anywhere when my son is missing, let alone running away from home and then going to a motorcycle rally while my son is out there freezing his butt off, don't know where he is, and knowing he's never been away from my side his entire life. It makes me sick to my stomach that people like that exist and walk this world, but they do. But they do. All right, guys, take care. God bless. Rock it out. Before we go, I just want to thank, it does appear that we are going to be doing a live call-in show on Friday. Again, just going through all the sponsors of this. Stephanie, thank you. Eeyore Blues, Melanie, Truth in Time. Ginger Girl says good morning. Phil gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. Truth in Time again. Elizabeth, thank you. Our beautiful member, Justin For All, thank you for that. We have a new member, Panda Bear's mom. Sonia is, oops, I hit the wrong button. Target chat ended before we could hit your target, BHB. Yes, yes, yes. We've got Mockery Mania, Sebastian's Army. Holly, thank you so much. Texas Cowgirl Up says Sebastian's Army is awesome. Thank you for all you do, BHB. We've got Melly Cat. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Veronica, thank you so much. Gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. Patty, thank you so much for that. I Got Time Today gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. Misty Moon, God bless you. Thank you for that. And Sonia, thank you for keeping Sebastian's name in the public eye. Justice for Sebastian. God bless all of you. The goal was reached, and we will be doing not only a live show, but a call-in so we can chat about your opinions, speculations, and theories. Is somebody not listening out there in the ether? Do you want somebody to hear your thoughts on this case? Well, we're going to have an opportunity next Friday. All right, guys, I will see you tonight. As soon as I know what time Seth will be live tonight, I will make sure that we inform everybody through the community page tab on my channel. 5 reports that are verified. Yes, thank you for that information, Sonia. Sammy, Pebbles, Granny, Beth, thank you all. Too Many Shoes. God bless you guys. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something, much like this teacher. God bless the teacher that came forward. Don't forget, if you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, please be kind to one another. God bless.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We've brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.